what are your Hey, Pete, you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry. So what are your emotions and your level of anticipation, getting to play in Tampa tonight?
I mean, this is my hometown. I'm excited. I'm going to see a lot of familiar faces in the stands, and it's going to be a great time.
Um, how much Rays baseball did you watch growing up? Were you a Rays fan? I know you've talked a lot about, players that you liked across the league, but what was your level of, with the Rays?
So, I mean, I wasn't necessarily a Rays fan, but I would watch the Rays. For me, I just grew up a big baseball junkie. Like any time or any team that was on television, I'd watch the game. But I thought it was a really exciting time because when I was in, I think, 7th or 8th grade back in 08, I think, 8th grade, they had this unbelievable postseason run. And me and my dad, I remember we had a really super memorable weekend. We went to Boca Grande, we went fishing, and then on the way back, we stopped and saw the Rays versus the Red Sox in one of their playoff games, and they won, and it was really cool. And for me, like seeing guys like Matt Joyce, Evan Longoria, Carl Crawford, BJ Upton, like it was really cool. Like those were guys that I would see the majority of the time, because for me, like especially with the local stations, like those are guys that for me as a younger kid, it was really cool to see them do it. And I know being from here, there's a ton of talent in the area. And for young kids, I know Matt Joyce, he's a Tampa guy, and it's really, really awesome because seeing guys from Tampa like Lance McCullers, like Christian Arroyo, those are just Oscar Mercado, Jose. I mean, there's so much talent from this Tampa Bay area. Brett Phillips is a homegrown guy. I mean, me and Brett played travel ball together. It's crazy. It's such a small world. And I mean, the talent and the high quality baseball that they have here in Tampa, it's crazy. And it's great to be a role model, and it's cool to be an example. It's like, listen, all the kids out there that have talent and want to be a big leaguer, it's like, you can do it. And I used to be in the same shoes. Like I remember also I put the ball I think when I was younger, I put the ball out on the pitcher's mound and threw the rosin back out. So, I mean, it's certainly attainable. And for me, this was my idea of what the big leagues was like, because this is my big league stadium, when I went to see a game. So it's really cool.
Thanks.
Tim Britton, you're up next.
Hey, Pete, we asked you, I think 10 days ago, what it would be like to work with Hugh Quattlebaum and Kevin Howard as hitting coaches. And you said, ask me down the road. So I'm wondering, now that you've done it for a week and a half, what has it been like to work with those guys? I
mean, they've been great. They're great personalities. And then also it provides some great insight. They're super prepared, and then they work their asses off. So it's been great working with them. And it's been great. We've established our identity, and they've kind of worked with us. They've been super flexible, and it's been great because we have such a great identity. And I feel like every single day they're working to improve that identity and to be able to get us firing on all cylinders. I feel like from an offensive standpoint, we've been performing, we've been putting up runs, but I feel like we haven't even hit on all cylinders consistently. And when we do, it's going to be scary.
What is that offensive identity that they've been trying to pound into you guys?
I mean, the biggest thing is minimize chase and capitalize on pitches in the zone. And for me, that was my one of the biggest philosophies I came into camp with. And for me, I want to be able to capitalize stuff in the middle of the zone, and then also like minimize chase, be a tough out. And I feel like we've been taking our walks, and we've had a ton of guys on base, and we've had those clutch moments. But in order to do that, we just need to be gritty, grind pitchers down by being as stingy as possible with our zone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Trisha Whitaker.
Hey, Pete, you mentioned you played travel ball with Brett Phillips. Can you share any fun memories? I mean, Brett is like such an exciting, happy, joyful guy to be around. Can you share any fun memories or just what he's like?
Well, I mean, if if I were to tell you everything, I mean, there's a whole laundry list, but the coolest thing about Brett is he's been the same guy. I mean, I'm sure you could tell his enthusiasm, how he brings such energy to the team. Like, I mean, I was lucky enough to play with him and kind of grow up with him. And I mean, he's just a energizer bunny. Like he's a great guy, awesome human being. And the coolest thing is that, I mean, he's the same. I don't think of him as a guy. I think he's the same kid I grew up with. So he's a really special person.
Next question's from Mike Puma.
Pete, will this be your first time playing at the Trop, or did you play there in high school or something like that?
Yeah, so I played. I played here in 2013. We had the Pinellas County and Hillsborough County senior game. I had a pretty good game, and it was like an exciting thing. So I'm happy to be able to be on the field again. I was playing third back then, so now I'll be on the other side of the diamond.
And also, as somebody who still lives down here, what were the emotions like, kind of watching the Rays go to the World Series last year? Did you have a rooting interest?
I mean, for me, it's like the reason I wanted certain guys that I knew. Like I know me and Meadows, we have a mutual friend, mutual fishing buddy. I wanted those guys to do well, but for me, like if the New York Mets are in the playoffs, like I watch the games because I love baseball, but to me, it's like I honestly didn't care who won or lost. I mean, we were out of it, so I mean, it doesn't really have any effect.
It was a little different when the Bucks went to the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was there all the time, and it was. I love being a part of my hometown. I love being a part of my city, and it's really special. I mean, being there at the Super Bowl, that was really special, and to be able to see like Tampa win it in Tampa, it's like that's history and special. And I wore my Brady jersey today. I thought about wearing it during BP, but decided not to. But yeah, I love Tampa. I love my home, and it's a special place for me.
Thank you.
Next up is Disha Thozar.
Hey, Pete, do you have any family coming to the game for you tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you know who?
There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces in the stand.
Okay. And then just also over the last few years since your rookie year, there's been a lot of turnover on and off the field, changes, different faces. And up to this point now, you're a tight-knit group taking team photos in Florida gear before heading off for Tampa. So I guess when did you first feel this group click and mesh to become as close and bonded as it is now?
I mean, it started back in spring camp. I mean, this group was special from the jump, and being able to get in the everyday grind with these guys, it's awesome. I mean, we've had a lot of starts and stops, adversity that we've had to face. It's been great. I mean, being in the trenches with these guys every single day, it's a special group, and every single day it's a blessing to be with these guys. And win or lose, it's such a fun group. We work hard, we play hard, and also we have fun. I mean, we have fun, and it's to be on a team like this. So like, I mean, we're not just really good. It's like we're all pulling in the same direction, and all of us care for one another. And to be able to have that, it's special, and I enjoy it every single day.
Whose idea was it to wear the beach wear on the buses?
I don't know. I thought I don't know. It's just kind of like a mutual thing. We're going down south. We're going to Florida, and I don't know who made that decision, but I was all for it. I loved it.
Thanks.
Mark Topkin, go ahead.
Hey, Pete, how you doing?
How's it going, Mark?
Good. You mentioned the other day the schedule just working out so cool. What was it like getting to spend yesterday at home? And then did you drive your own car over here to the ballpark today? I mean, was that like?
I mean, it's weird. I know this is it's kind of strange. It's a lot of people take this for granted, but to actually sleep in my own bed at my own house and to be able to drive my own car to my job, like it's crazy. I mean, to me, or people in the baseball world, or players at least, it's very uncommon to be in our home city where we're from, or where we by our house or wherever we have our families. It's very rare because we're all spread out the majority of the year, but to be able to sleep in my own bed, drive my own car to my job, it really is a blessing, and it's something for me I really appreciate. And I mean, it's awesome. It's really awesome to be able to be here in my hometown. And also it's my dad's birthday today, and to be able to have this series kind of like a line, it's really special. And yeah, it's gonna be fun these 3 days.
I guess the pressure's on to get him a good gift, right?
I already got him a good gift. I just saw him a couple minutes ago. Win or lose, or if I go 4 for 4 homers, it's not about performing on the field. It's spending quality time with family and just being there and actually physically being able to be there with my family, to be able to celebrate his birthday. It's really special, and it doesn't happen often in a baseball schedule. And it's truly a blessing from the baseball gods.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne, you're up next.
Hey, Pete, just wanted to get your thought of what the baseball is like this year when you hit it. Basically, I know the ball is a little bit different. It's not going as far as it used to. Do you notice that when you're hitting one, you get into one, and it just doesn't go quite as far as it did in the last year or two?
Well, I mean, for me, I know when I hit it like I should, it always goes. And for me, there's been a couple times where I thought I was scratching my head, but when I look back on the replay and when I see how hard I hit it and like to certain areas of the park, it's like, you know what, like that wouldn't have been a home run. I don't care if you're hitting a lacrosse ball, a golf ball, like, or a beach ball. It doesn't matter. I mean, that ball, it maybe gets down, but for me, what I've noticed is that the balls that I know I've gotten, like they've gone out. So there may have been a couple questionable ones where they're caught ran down in the gap, but when I really dive into it, I don't really think that it's had too much of an impact or an impact at all with my game. For me, what I've noticed is that guys have been pitching around me more this year, and I haven't gotten as many opportunities in the strike zone. I've been taking my walks. I've been a really tough out, and I've been really under control and command of my zone, which is great. And feel like when the weather warms up, and now we're in a lovely dome where it's climate control. So I think that in certain areas or in certain parts of the country, balls are flying a little bit more, like in the South or the West Coast where the weather's warmer. But New York, it's been a pretty cold spring so far. So I don't think it's necessarily too much of a big deal or noticeable at all. I just think we just need to keep hitting the ball hard, and then whatever happens.
What defensively, you've made a lot of plays this year, diving for balls and plays on maybe you wouldn't have necessarily made before, but your defensive metrics are kind of showing your improvement as far as what you've done on the field. Do you pay attention to those numbers and what your defense looks like compared to other first basemen?
See, the only thing I don't really want to get into that because I can't control what other first basemen are doing for me. The only thing I can control is my effort and what I do on the field every single day. And I mean, I feel like I've been playing extremely well. I feel like I've been making plays, not just plays that directly impact me, but I feel like I've done a really good job of making good team plays, whether it be keeping the ball in the infield or picking guys or making sure that the runner doesn't take an extra base. I mean, I'm really trying to think along with the game and stay ahead. So I feel like being mentally locked in and is really helped out, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better physically. So I'm really pleased with how I've gone. I mean, I've had a couple unlucky bounces here and there, but that's baseball. It's going to happen. But I feel like that as soon as I keep at it every single day, I'm just going to keep getting better and better throughout the season.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Next question is from Tim Healy.
Hey, Pete, I know you mentioned Brett Phillips as somebody you played with. When you were at Jesuit, did you overlap with Lance McCullers at all?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. He was just in a grade above me. So me and Lance, and also I played travel ball against Lance like growing up. So we played against each other all growing up. And then my freshman year, I was on JV, and then he was on varsity sophomore year. But for me, I was my sophomore year, I made the varsity team, and me and him, we played together on the same team finally. But I mean, there's a bunch of Tampa guys that I either played with or against, Little League, travel ball. Like it's crazy. And I know I don't want to leave anybody out, but Jake Woodford, Kyle Tucker, Preston Tucker, Michael Givens, like there's so many people like from the Tampa area that are in the big leagues. It's just a hotbed of talent. And it's really crazy when you dig real deep into it and see who's from Tampa, not just present, but in the past as well.
And on a different topic, now that you've had a good chunk of time off of social media, how is life? How much better is it not being on the internet all the time?
It's fantastic. And for me, I don't think it's none of my business what other people say about me. I'm happy living my life and concentrated and focused on what I need to do every day. And the people that I work with, like including you guys, I want to treat with respect and be the best person I can be a pro. And that's it. That's all I can do. And whatever people say, whatever people do, doesn't matter, because I want to treat people with respect and treat people by the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Tim Britton, back to you.
Going off of Disha's question earlier about team chemistry, how much does a winning streak like this help build that even further for you guys, especially when you're getting contributions from so many different parts of the roster?
Yeah, and that's a huge part of it. We've had so many guys step up, and it's awesome. I mean, we got a lot of momentum going, and the Rays, they have a really they have a talented team, and they have they're a really well coached ball club as well, and they're going to have a lot for us. So it's a high quality opponent that we're going against, and this is going to be a really good test for us, because the Rays, they're always a playoff baseball team. They have a winning culture over here. So it's going to be a fun matchup for this weekend. So I'm excited, and every single day we get to test what we got going in the game. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm excited, and this is a really good opportunity for us. Really, really good opportunity for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from Brad Heller.
Hey, Pete, if you end up DHing it all this weekend or at some point in the American League parks, how does that change your routine? As someone who's out there playing the field, you got the adrenaline going. What's that like for you? Just focusing on the hitting, what does that do for you, your routine-wise during a game?
Well, I want to keep my routine as close as I can to the same. So, I'm gonna do all my pregame stuff the same. The only thing that's different is just coming off the bench to hit 4 times in a game. So I'll probably take a couple extra swings between innings, like off the tee or front flips. But I can't necessarily burn myself out in the cage. But I just want to be as locked in as possible and be conscious of what the other team's doing on the mound. So those DH games for me, like it's great, but I love being on the field. Being on the field is what I love to do. And but if I need to be a DH that day, then whatever Louis thinks or whatever the performance staff thinks, then I'll be the DH. But for me, I love being on the field. I'm a first baseman.
Thank you very much for your time, Pete.
LFGM. Thanks, guys.
Members of the media, please either remain in the room or rejoin by 4:35 for Luis Rojas at 4:40. Thank you.